Welcome back to 101 Talks WWE 2K16, the series where we're going to be covering 2K16 news, rumours, concepts and discussion all the way up to the game's release later this year. If you guys missed the first episode of the series, we had some discussion on the 2K future endeavours, which was basically superstars likely to miss this year's game. So if you haven't seen that episode and want to do so, annotation on the screen now and also a link in the description down below. But on this video, we have got a few pieces of 2K16 news that have come out over the last month or two. So not necessarily brand new information, but certainly information that I've only recently seen. So hopefully some of this news and info is also going to be new to some of you guys watching the video. Now first up, we've got some news and some talk on the size of this year's roster. Now I think it's fair to say the 2K15 roster is decent for the most part, just a little underwhelming in comparison to the last two games rosters because the rosters on 13 and 14 were just so good. Well, for anybody concerned or just wondering about the size of the roster on 2K16, we have now got some good news for you because recently 2K stated that the 2K16 roster will be the largest roster ever in the WWE game series. Now put into context, according to the numbers in the article, 2K15 had a roster of 83 wrestlers, 2K14 had a roster of 103, and 13 with a roster of 106. So according to the article and 2K, the roster for 2K16 will be the largest roster ever, which is obviously some awesome news for anybody looking forward to this year's game. Now the second piece of news, still sticking to the roster one way or another, there have been multiple superstars and divas that have either confirmed or more or less confirmed their inclusion for 2K16. Those include Zack Ryder, Sasha Banks and Rosa Mendes, all via their Twitter accounts. Other names unofficially confirmed include Rusev, who has been recently photographed being rescanned for the game, and also Randy Orton, who was confirmed by Damien Sandow, who recently mocapped his entrance. So Rusev and Orton, kind of obvious inclusions, but I'm sure the less than obvious conclusions of Ryder, Banks and Mendes is going to be some good news if you're a fan of those superstars or divas. And today's final bit of 2K16 news, as said last month in one of his blogs, the legendary Jim Ross has teased he is going to be part of this year's game because he said in one of his recent blogs, in talks of 2K Sports to do some work on their next video game for WWE, love the process. And from what I'm told, the new game will be extremely provocative and certainly has my attention already. Stay tuned. So fingers crossed for JR's inclusion in the next game. Absolute legend of a commentator. Automatically makes the commentary side of things much better when he's included. And I'm sure in whichever aspect of the game he's going to be featured, which I'm assuming is going to be another 2K Showcase mode or a mode similar to that, is going to be much better with him included. And that single player mode is hopefully going to be revealed in the not too distant future, so stay tuned for news on that coming hopefully sometime soon. But that is going to be it for today's episode of 101 Talks WWE 2K16, but hopefully some of that news is going to be new to some of you guys watching. Remember to support the series and the video by leaving the video a big thumbs up, and also drop me a comment with your thoughts on today's pieces of 2K16 news in the comment section down below. But that is going to be it for this one. Stay tuned for another episode of 101 Talks 2K16 coming to the channel very, very soon. And until next time, this has been 101, and I will see you all on the next one.